you're going to kick us off with some news from the popcons. They want another Truss-style leader.
Yes, they do.
Mean?
Well, it's a very good question. So this is the Popular Conservatives group founded by Mark Littlewood, who is an ally of Liz Truss. Obviously was there from her brief time in Number 10, and is now a peer thanks to her. He has said that he is basically his group is trying to shape the future of the party by finding the next Conservative Party leader, which is not controversial. That's pretty much what everyone currently in the Conservative Party is doing. This isn't specifically, this is not people trying to oust Rishi Sunak. This is very much people looking at the polls and saying, right, what comes next? I think there were some really interesting things in the piece by Aubrey Allegretti. For example, that Liz Truss is apparently spending a lot of time courting candidates. So she's taking them out for drinks. Fizz with Liz has been resuscitated. I actually coined that.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, well,
I did.
That's
in the mail
amazing. Well
Sunday.
done.
Thank you.
But this is someone, you know, Liz Truss is someone who's also courting the Americans. You know, talking. Well, she certainly didn't step in when someone referred to Tommy Robinson as a hero. Is this really the kind of blueprint that we want for the next leader of the Conservative Party?
I'm going to bring this back onto track, but just in terms... Well, it's a good question, but just in terms of the...
Well, when they say Truss style, that's what she's doing at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Truss style, they want someone who shared the economic outlook of Liz Truss, which... I mean, it would be, in my view, disastrous for the Conservatives to do that because, I mean, Liz Truss's economic point of view is partly why the Conservatives are in the predicament they are now. She crashed the economy. Mortgages are very high because of Liz Truss's policies.
I'll come to you on that, because people actually say that it was Liz Truss and it was her fault with the mini budget. Many voters, many Conservative voters don't agree with that in the slightest. They saw a true Conservative and a true Conservative economic plan.
Yeah, I mean, just as Labour voters saw Jeremy Corbyn as a true Labour politician, and then they elected him, and the wider public said, this isn't what we want. I mean, it's after a party's been in power, I think there's a temptation to kind of retreat to an ideological kind of hinterland. We saw that with Labour, partly with Ed Miliband, then with Jeremy Corbyn, and I think the Tories are going through exactly the same thing now.
Anna?
I mean, look, I think what James says goes absolutely to the heart of the problem with Liz Truss and the problem for the Conservatives, because what they're saying is they want another free market libertarian. That is not a bad thing in a lot of ways. And Liz Truss, it wasn't her economic theory that got voted on, it was her delivery, absolutely appalling delivery. And she has done more damage to free market libertarianism than anyone, pretty much.
Or was it forces that conspired against her? I agree about the delivery. It was too much too fast. But actually, when you look at what she wanted to do, which was to reduce income tax, she wanted corporation tax to come down, many SMEs around the country would welcome that.
Absolutely. No, many people would welcome a lot of what she was doing, but you don't get any credit for doing something good in a terrible way, because she's just set them back. It's not about dark forces. Her delivery was terrible. Exactly. She didn't get people on side.
Yeah, the money wasn't there. Like, Rishi Sunak himself warned about this when he went up against Liz Truss, and he was mocked for that. And he was actually right about that. There wasn't money to promise those tax cuts, and the markets didn't believe it could happen.
It's interesting, isn't it? Could she have done better by briefing the markets then, as you suggest?
No, because I don't think the country's in a financial position where it can afford those huge tax cuts. In the same way that, you know, if Labour promised this huge public spending programme, the markets would probably react the same way. It's just we aren't in that financial position at the moment.
Well,